everybody, and welcome. I'm your instructor, John Pomeroy, and this lesson is all about how to draw cartoon hair. So we're going to investigate all of the little shapes and designs and forms that can make for great cartoon hair designs. Now, we just did a lesson on realistic hair, and there was a lot of information that we can use in this lesson also about how to do overall basic design shapes and then subdivide those into the hair patterns that make up an interesting hairdo and design. So let's get started. So in drawing cartoon hairstyles, the sky's the limit. And remember, cartooning is the art of exaggeration. So let's start out with a basic simple head. Male head. I'll make this maybe like a teenager. Big eyes. Median line, eye line. Create some fun expressions. Turned up nose. Big grin. So I'm using almost like a triangular head for this particular character. Designed ears coming out from the side. So this is really, I'm pushing the design here. So what kind of hairdo would best fit for this character? And I saw a magazine with an interesting spiked hairdo that I thought was interesting. So I'm going to start with two large locks of spiky hair coming out from down the side and over the forehead. That's my start. After that, I'm going to frame the rest of the face with another spike coming down and going back up. So we have framed that face. That's kind of important because you want the hair to complement what the character's facial features are. The hair is like a frame to the face. Another spike coming out, another there. I'm just kind of breaking it up. And then a mass of hair with a couple of other spikes coming out. So just having fun designing this shape. And I'm filling it in because I want to make sure that this shape reads really well as a total across the top of the head. So there is one character design with some interesting hair. Interesting groupings. And notice that I was grouping a lot of these together. This could have been one mass that I subdivided, and then you had three big spikes on this side. So I'm mixing up the design here just a little bit to get some variety. So there's one idea right there. We'll call him A. So for B, let's do something a little goofier. Let's start with a reverse teardrop shape. And this character, I'll place the eye line right about there, right in about the middle of the teardrop shape. There's the median line. Give this character a big nose. And small eyes, close together. Little pupils. And also maybe this character has large glasses. Big glasses. And eyebrows way up here. And then large goofy mouth. Bow tie. Big ears on either side, sticking way out. So we've got the basis for an interesting character there, a goofy character. I'm going to make his bow tie checkered. So what kind of hairdo would I give this character? I mean, we can make him like a little carrot top. So he's got a little sprig of hair right here at the top. And you start with just a basic shape. I'm starting with a circle. And then what I'll do is subdivide that into a fun shape that indicates curly hair. So there's another character. Let me darken his eyes just a little bit. So let's start with character C, a female form. I will do, let's see, a cartoon head design, something with some angles to it. There's the neck, jawline, eye line. I'm going to do large almond-shaped eyes. We're exaggerating because it's cartoon. Big eyelashes. This is a flashy female character. Large irises. A fun mouth, large and expressive. I give her a beauty mark. And then eyebrows. Her ear would be right there, top of her cranium, shoulders. I'll put her in an evening dress. Pearl necklace. So, what kind of hairdo? Well, it looks almost like a retro 50s type of design, and I'm going to go all out with some fun ideas for a hair. I'm going to cascade a large lock of hair coming out front, way out here. I'm going to have her ear, give her an earring too. The side of her hair would come up and stop. We'd see a couple of lines for pattern. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have her hair from this forward large lock curve back around, and it's going to be joined by that line right there at the top of her head, the top of her forehead. And then coming down from the back, I'm going to have it come straight down. It's going to be like a triangular shape, cascading. Imagine it being pinched in the back and it's just radiating hair like a large fan. And then at the end of it, do a fun curl. I'll draw the overall shape first, and then within that shape, design some curl patterns. So it got real frizzed right there at the end, straight, and then a big frizzy ball of hair at the end. So there's my female design. All kinds of hair. I mean, this is a fun project for you, just to start sketching out different types of hair designs. Let's take a bulky character. Kind of a big, bossy character. Could be a villain. So I'm drawing an interesting head shape like that. Almost a great big droopy teardrop shape that swings over the front and is cut off flat at the top. Give him his eyes. Eyebrows down. We'll give him a small block nose, kind of a mean mouth and a chin, thick neck, kind of wearing kind of a workout t-shirt and a sprig of chest hair. Maybe even a tattoo right there. I think the top, let's see, almost sort of a pseudo-military style, low hairline, coming down, framing the eyes, and then this would continue to go right up. I would do 2 or 3 lines there to indicate a chopped hairdo on top, a flat top. So there's another type of hairstyle. Let's do something really manic. I'm thinking of like a mad scientist type of character, squatty with a little tunic. Drawing some arms and hands here. Here's the button to his tunic. Button down in the front. Notice that I'm doing the costume of this character first because I think it'll inform what his face is going to look like. There's the median line for his head. I would have his eye line right about in the middle. I would do a turned up nose. I would do just gigantic spectacles, glasses for eyes, very thick, very science fiction-like. 2 eyes, beady little eyes, and kind of manic eyebrows. And then a large mouth that protrudes forward, turned up at the corners, with pointy little teeth and a tiny little mouth. That's kind of a goofy character. Ears. So the ear shapes are just these little triangle things that stick out from the sides of his head. And the type of hair I'm thinking for this character is almost like a patch of weeds. Sort of like that. So it's just it's kind of a little starburst of pattern. And I'm trying to think in terms of design also. So it's 3 strands, little tiny thing that sticks out, 1 single hair, large strand, and then a large strand that is subdivided. So that would be that character right there. Our little science fiction character with tiny little legs. All kinds of different combinations. Let's try almost a TV style male character, kind of a dad character. We'll start with a tapering block shape. I'm going to accentuate that block, and I'm going to give him a very high back head. Eye line way up here, eyes close together, eyebrows, nose, kind of pointy but soft. I'm going to do kind of a mask right here of where his mouth would be. I'm going to shade that in as if he's got like a 2-day growth of beard. And then his mouth will be right in there like that. And his chin, lower lip. His ear, kind of a triangular shape radiating from his eye line. There's his forehead. And I'm going to do a hairstyle that's just going to loop up from the top of his ear up towards this point. That's going to be his part line. And then coming over his forehead, a straight line. Above that, at the crown of his head, at the top point of his hair, that would come out to a large shape that would sweep around forward, return, and then do a quick little loop in. Does So he's got kind of a little retro look here. And that makes for an interesting silhouette, this type of pattern. You color that in. So think in terms of design too, for your cartoon hairdo. Let's do a little girl. I'll start out with a round head. Give her a cute little area for her cheeks, low eye line, big eyes, cute little turned up nose, little nostrils. Give her a cute little smile. Kind of an ethnic look. Large eyes, large pupils. A couple little eyelashes. There's her brows. Small ear coming off the side of her eye line. Give her a cute little neck. And the collar to maybe a little dress that she's wearing. Little puff sleeves. A very rounded forehead. I'm going to angle it back just a little bit and come back around here. And I'm going to show some hairline. So where the hairline meets, we want to do kind of just a jagged little line, break it up in a nice design that indicates the hair where it attaches to the forehead. And from there, we can pull a couple of lines back to define the direction that the hair is being pulled. And from right to the edge of the eye, I would bring the hairline down. And from there, also a couple of lines going back that's pulled. And then on the top, I would create two little cascades of they're almost like pigtails, but they're little bunches of hair, curly hair that have been secured by either a rubber band or a little bow. And there's a little girl hairdo. Let's try one. Let's do an infant. A really, really young, a baby hairdo. We would do a square pattern. Large cranium, low eye line, large eyes, little small ear, shoulders almost coming up to underneath the cranial mass, so there's not much of a neck for little infant characters. Cute little cheeks, pushed up against the eyes. There's the medial line for the forehead. Little indication of some eyelashes, big eyes. Nice big eyes. Little eyebrows, tiny little nose, small little mouth. There's the shoulders. And we would probably just do something real simple, like a little sprig of hair hanging forward that we would break up with some soft curls. There would be an idea for an infant baby hairdo. Someone with character, we do a character, longish face, long teardrop shape, long neck. Make this a female character. Give her sloping shoulders, turtleneck, high eye line, large triangular nose, the nose, the mouth way down here, give her an attitude of kind of snootiness, aloofness. Give her glasses, her ear, and I would have, let's see, the part would come very close to her eyebrow. We'll do a part right there. I'm thinking in terms of just long, straight hair, straight down, and on other side too. So there's another type of hairdo. And you want to make sure, I think I've mentioned this before, that the hairdo matches the character. So we have a little sprig for this infant baby hair. We've got long hair coming down off this character. It seems to fit the design of the character. We have the little girl hairdo. It fits this character's design. This hair type of high retro style design fits that character. So want to make sure that the character fits the hairdo. So that should give you a lot of ideas about how to do cartoon hairstyles. That was a great lesson. I really enjoyed teaching you that, all about cartoon hair. So take this information and start to practice. Your assignment is sketch cartoon hair designs and put them all on different types of head shapes also, as well as look at magazines and other pictures, books, and the world around you to get some ideas on some fun cartoon hair designs. There might be a great pattern for you on some wallpaper somewhere that you get influenced or an inspiration for. So check out the world around you, look at pictures, get inspired, but start sketching cartoon hairdos. That's your assignment. And I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson. Bye-bye for now.